Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Elliot from ElliotOracle.com, and I am going to be doing some Tarotscope readings for all of the astrological signs. And this is video 1, in which we are going to cover the signs of Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer. So for the sign of Aries here, the first card for Aries is what they need to place a focus on during the month of September. So what's really going to happen? And that flew out. And it is work. It's 7 of Pentacles, which means that this is going to be a really productive time. It's also a time to be patient, which Aries isn't always known for. You see this man who's in the field, he's stopping his work long enough to look at what is progressing. And usually when the 7 of Pentacles comes up for me, I usually think that you're over the hump, like the worst part of the work is done, or that you've really gotten over the major part of the challenge. In this man's case, he's already tilled the fields, he's planted the seeds, and now the crop is growing. It's just not ready for harvest yet. So this card is saying to place your focus on patiently tending your goals at this time. It's going to be a very productive time for you, and you could actually see a lot of improvements, but you do need to be consistent and patient as well. And then the next card is advice from your inner wisdom. So for Aries, the advice for their inner wisdom for the month of September and all that's coming up is the 8 of Pentacles. So you have the 7 and then the 8 of Pentacles. These are 2 major work cards. If you want to do anything that changes what you're doing for a living, this is a great month for it. If you want to work at your resume, if you want to work on schooling or learning something new, if you want to try a new trade, this is just a very productive month for you. Not only is it financially rewarding, but it's also just going to be a good time to make some actions towards your financial stability or your financial future. And again, both of these cards are very good, but they do require a lot of effort. So be prepared for that, Aries. All right, next we're going to go into Taurus. And the first card for Taurus is where it's best for Taurus to place their focus during the month of September. And that's the 9 of Cups. 9 of Cups is really about wish fulfillment and enjoyment. You can see that the table is set with those 9 golden cups, and it's basically saying it's time to take your seat at the table. Taurus loves pleasure. It's ruled by Venus, and so the 9 of Cups can even indicate this is a more sensuous time for you, or a time to get into your body a little bit more, or even just indulge in your senses a bit more too. The 9 of Cups always says that a wish is fulfilled, so something that you've been really working towards is finally manifesting. And now you just need to really sit at that table and enjoy it. The second card for Taurus is advice from your inner wisdom for the month of September, what you need to keep in mind. And that's the 10 of Pentacles. And the 10 of Pentacles is a card of security, it's a card of family and home, but both of these cards are pretty abundant. They have that theme in common. So this could just be a time where financially you're going to be very stable. Much unlike the Aries cards, which are about more productivity, the 7, 8 of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles is more about enjoying what you do have. It's also a card of establishing your legacy or really looking at long-term plans or goals. So this could be just a wonderful time to enjoy your home, but also to really plan for the long term. And with the 9 of Cups there could even be some opportunities that are coming out of the blue that are like a wish that was fulfilled that really go in towards your long-term success. So really keep your eyes open for that. But not a bad month for Taurus for sure. The next sign that we're going to go over is Gemini. And our first card for Gemini is where they need to place their focus during the month of September. And that's the 5 of Swords. So the 5 of Swords shows 3 squires. 2 of the squires are frustrated. They were tasked to pick up these 5 heavy swords and they couldn't do the job. You can see them way in the distance of the card looking at the element of water, which means they're kind of brooding in their feelings about not being able to finish this task. The squire in the foreground, however, is surrounded by that element of air and the winds that are flowing around him. And this represents that he's linking into his logic and he's being dispassionate about the task in front of him. You can see he's picking up 3 swords for right now and he's leaving 2 for later on. So this card is always about pacing yourself Don't take on more than you can handle. And also don't inject your emotions into something that you really need to be logical about at this time. If you break up your bigger projects or jobs or things that you have to do into smaller bits at this time, you're going to stand to be much more successful. So this is a time to just pace yourself in general. The next card for Gemini is advice from their inner wisdom going through the month of September. And that's the Moon card. Such a great inner wisdom card. The Moon is a card of using your instincts and trusting your intuition. Always our instincts, our intuition is kind of trying to gently nudge us from behind the scenes. And sometimes we tune it out because we get distracted. Especially in the case of the Five of Swords, it says that there is a lot on your plate or there's a lot to see to at this time. So sometimes that inner wisdom can feel all but drowned out. That Moon card is telling you, come back to your instincts. This is really going to help you. And especially with whatever task is at hand that you're breaking up into smaller pieces, that Moon card can tell you what parts really need your attention right now and which parts can be left for later. So this is going to be a time to pace yourself, but also to trust your instincts and your feelings. And then also when we see the Moon, it always tells you to trust your hunches with other people. Sometimes the Five of Swords has a little bit of an untrustworthy quality to it. And so that Moon card could also just say, really look at who your real friends are and try to keep yourself separate from people that just don't feel that they're very authentic for you at this time. And then finally, for video 1, we go into the sign of Cancer. And the first card for Cancer is where it's best to place their focus for the month of September. Wow, the World. This is a great month for Cancer to finish things, to complete the job, to come full circle, and to move on. Whenever we see that World card, it just means that you've come full circle. You've really gotten to a place in your life where you're tying up the loose ends at this time. And then also with that World card, it's not just like finishing a chapter of your life, it's almost like finishing a volume. So it's really gonna feel like a momentous time. This is a wonderful card for rites of passage and celebrating them. So if you have been working hard towards something and you finally achieved your goal, the World card really says to celebrate it. So the place to put your focus on right now is completions. What needs to be finished, and don't be afraid to finish the job. It really looks like this is the time to do it. And then the next card is advice from your inner wisdom for the month of September, and this is for Cancer. And it's the Two of Wands. Your inner wisdom is going to be pushing you beyond your old boundaries and beyond your old parameters. You see the Lord of a Manor on this card. He's got everything he could want. He's got a castle with this great view, and yet he still wants something more. He's holding the globe in his hand. So the Two of Wands is long associated with ambition. And how interesting, we got the World card, and then we got the Two of Wands man who's holding the world in his hands. It's as if this next month you really are holding the world in your hands, Cancer. So this is going to be a time, again, to finish up your projects, finish up your ideas, and maybe even launch it into the world. This could be a time when you're really sharing your ideas with other people and letting them in on what you've been planning or cooking up all this time. And then also the Two of Wands is a card of ambition and advancement, sometimes in the realm of career, work, or business. So this could be a really good time to launch an idea or actually just take a leap of faith, finish up your loose ends, and really give it a good try. So that is video 1. I hope you all enjoyed that. And if you did, I do invite you to go to ElliotOracle.com and book a reading with me. These little mini readings are wonderful, but they're nothing compared to a one-on-one session that goes into all of your cares and concerns. So I do invite you to check that out. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful September and take care. Thank you.